just a few minutes for the private group, and maybe they're, I'm trying to think what they'd most like to ask you about in a short time like that. And I think the main thing is, several people have expressed to me in emails and occasionally in the group, the optometrist, the eye doctor that they go to, has laid out this prognosis. And it's always, everything has to get worse. Because look, you're too old to face it, and your genes are probably bad, and that limits what could happen. And you had bad luck.
Richard,
this kind of
you
stuff.
Notice? I'm 61. I don't wear glasses.
Right.
I have quanticles, but I don't need glasses. And I'm not being smart about this. I'm just saying this. Possibilities are there. It's whether or not the will is there, the intent is there. You can't push it, you can't force it, you can't do it by stealth. You do it by being. And once that being, you have accessibility to qualities that we cannot put numbers to, as I said before. But those qualities then start to not just show up, they grow, they differentiate. And then the quality of that person's life starts to change. They start seeing things. When you have a lady who comes to you, she's in macular degeneration. And the next thing, within half an hour to 3/4 of an hour, and then she bursts into tears because she could see my face for the first time in 16 years.
Right. And that was in one appointment too, right?
That was in one appointment. But as I'm saying, I'm not saying that's her story.
Right, it varies.
Everyone's unique.
Right.
Yeah, it's absolutely right.
Totally.
Absolutely right.
What do you think, after your experience so far, is the design principle of vision? Do you think it's supposed to stay really completely functional your entire life, or is there any such thing as obligatory degeneration with time?
I think we've been made to believe that it has to get worse.
Yeah.
The commentary is simple. People's, how do I say this? How is it that the rest of your body, if you're healthy, you can run, you can walk, you can jump? Why does your eyesight have to get worse? If you can train your body, if you can train your mind, if you can meditate, if you can do various exercises or be directed in a certain way, why can you not? If your brain and your eyes are outgrowths of the frontal lobes, as I said earlier on, if they can improve, if the brain can improve, why can't your eyes?
Yeah.
It's just that we have thought that we know the answers. This is why I'm in this state of inquisitiveness. This is why I'm always looking at things. I've been put on the spot on various occasions, and I've had people in tears or people almost accusatory or wanting to have my guts for garters, for want of a better way. And I'm just there in stillness, and I'm watching and I'm thinking. And I'll be openly honest, I'm praying at times and think. And then that very next lens or that very next prism just makes all the difference. And it goes into a state of being, of intuition. It goes into a state of possibility rather than, heck, do I know all the answers? No, but I have the experience, and if there is a will, there is a way.
Right.
And we've heard this many times before in all our lives.
In addition to giving people the lenses that are best for them, speaking of working out the eyes, do you give them exercises and things like that too?
Yes, I do. And I can actually do them for various people. You can have the glasses and jiggle them up and down and side to side, connect that with breath, or you can invert them and you can go around or forward and back and up and down, or you can torsionally move them up and down or in or out or forward and back. You can do these things, and finding which ones are the best on breath, that the breath is deeper, quieter, slower, more regular. And once that connection is made, then all of a sudden a whole bunch of stuff, the sinus may start to drain, or the jaw feels looser, the masseter muscles are better, that temporomandibular joint, wow, that's not clicking anymore, whatever. It's, as I say again, Richard, it's unique for that individual.
Right. But what's universal, I would think you would probably agree, is that the systems in the body, like the vision and the breathing and other stuff like that, they're not separate. It's all connected and interdependent, and they.
Well, look, I've had people come to me with idiopathic hypertension. They don't know where it's come from.
Yeah.
But as I said, those pulse centers are there. So I had one gentleman in his 70s, and he's a sprightly young 70-year-old, I'll say it that way, tough as guts in one thing, but a big heart in another. And he'd had strange things happen. I took him through various exercises. Next thing, I put the sphygmomanometer on him. But before we even did that, I knew he was fine. And where his blood pressure was around about 200 over 180, over 160, it came all the way down to 137 over 72. Now,
so after that, what do you think was causing the high blood pressure?
His visual system was in a state of stress, so in the point of no return. It was like there was a runaway train going on. And I relaxed his whole system because he lost all connection of feedback to calm the system down. His conscious, subconscious were mismatched. Once they matched, his whole system could regroup itself. I'm facilitating the sovereignty of his ability, not his inability, but his ability, finding where the ability is, so that he could be in a state of easeful dynamic, not just ease, nothing's changing now, but an ease dynamic. And what was beautiful, his wife was present in that process. She also comes to see me for her eye care. And she was just, well, you can imagine how they were. It was just beautiful. To see.
Wow. Is there any way to say, even in a rough idea, if somebody has in America, for example, or the UK or anywhere, if they find an optometrist who's willing to be kind of almost like the avatar that you're functioning through in that particular location.
Yeah.
I'm assuming when you're doing it internationally, people that are used to having things paid for by insurance, they can't do that. They have to actually... Is it super expensive to set up something like that, or how does it work?
Well, I would charge a consultation fee. I haven't worked out 100% what it'll be, but what the good thing is, and this is so it's fair on both parties, that the person, they're going to get something which is like a specialist fee, basically.
Yeah.
But what I'm also saying is this, that the glasses can be made by the actual optometrist practice themselves. They don't have to do them through me.
Okay.
But the important thing is that, so it's win-win for everybody. It's not just, oh, well, I've gone through this and I get nothing. It's got to be fair right across the board.
Right. And if the nice thing is they know that you're coming from a place where you're not having almost this self-fulfilling prophecy that you have to get worse, which is built into most of modern medicine.
That's right.
Like we understand in not just eyes, but every aspect of healthcare, you're going to end up falling apart and being in hospice and not knowing who you are. And you're saying that may not be the necessary sequence, that you can actually get back toward what's forgotten normal, basically.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Very encouraging.